What we're looking at, we've loaded up all the fields that we think we'll need all the way down the track. So things like customer name, I'm not actually going to need that because I'll be able to make a box, and I'll do that in a sec. Things like customer pick, we obviously don't want it sitting there and showing that file name, but we need that file name available to us. So we're not going to do that, we're going to replace it with the actual picture of Zara or Albert, so depending how we go. First thing I want to get rid of is, rather than have their name like that, I'm going to choose them from a list. You have two options. One is called a combo box. Combo box has one thing fat and then everything else will drop down. So you click on it and it opens up. A list box is the other one. It looks like that. And it will allow you to show 5 or 6 things at once. Or you can show as many as you like as long as they fit. For this one, because I've only got a few in my customers, so I've got more than, you should have 10, you fellas, so I'll do one way and one the other way. So here's my box. It's just the wizard thing opens up. At the moment it will say it's unbound. That means it's not linked to anything. So our job is to link it. We can link it to something in our tables that we're going to do, or you can actually type in your own values. Usually you wouldn't bother with that. Okay, we're looking at the customer table, and in the box I want it to put the customer name there. So it's going to say Zara, Zebra, or Yevgeny, Yo-Yo, or whoever they are. Okay, usually we put them in ascending order. Okay, this is what you're going to see in the combo box. So it will have the name of the people. Because I've only got 3, it's not going to show it real well, but if you had 50 staff, then this is probably a good way to go. It hides the primary key. So when we click on Xena, it actually we record the X. So that's the important thing. We don't need to show that because that's sort of for us to know, but a user who knows nothing about databases doesn't like to see that. It just freaks them out. Okay, we click on next. This step is your most important of the lot. You need to go here and store it in a value. So when I click on the customer's name, what field in that list there do I actually record? Would it be their customer code? So remember, in the sales stuff you've got their customer code. So I know it was customer 3, sales member 4, whatever. Okay, so that's gets recorded. The button name doesn't really matter, so you can just let that go. I'll show you what that looks like. So now when I click on a different person, you'll notice that the customer name changes, the customer code will change, and the customer pick will change. So see how they've changed? So if I go into the Z one, it'll be Zara's photo, her name, and her code. If I go into Xena, X, and Xena type of thing. So we're just using that to change a few of these. We don't then need this thing here anymore. So we don't want to put more information than we need to. So you want to thin it down as much as you can without making it worse. Okay, so we can get rid of that. Your customer pick, though, we're going to keep there for the minute, and I'll show you why. Okay, my next thing I want to do is put a picture of the person. So when I click on one of these people, remember our customer code gets recorded. Again, it's important, I'll leave it there for the minute, but later on we'll get rid of it. Okay, again we go to design view. I want to put an image in. Again, when you fellas do it, because you've got the 2010 version, your icons might look slightly different, but if you hover over them it will say what they are. Okay, it's wanting us to put in a picture and tell it where it is. We don't want to do that because our picture is going to vary, so we just cancel out of that. We right click on our picture frame, go to the properties, and the second thing in properties is control source. In other words, where am I getting this thing from? And it's our customer pick. So when you go onto the particular customer, it will grab their actual file and link it up. Once you've got that done, you can have a look and you'll see that when we click that, it's actually going and finding this file and putting it over there. Okay, we no longer need this thing here. We no longer need the customer code there. The easiest thing to do is to highlight it like that and hit delete, but don't do that because that would be bad, because then you're deleting stuff we need to record. What you do though, is you right click on it, go to properties, and there's a thing called visible. You can either go over there and click no, or if you just double click on it, it will swap. So we want it to be invisible basically, so visible no means invisible. Okay, I'll click on this one. I want the pic. Remember, this pic is just the file name, it's not the actual pic. Again, I want to turn it off. So now we've got this happening. It's still recording that information, but we don't have all these little codes sitting all over the screen to freak the user out, because that's the last thing you want to do. You want to make it as simple as possible, so remove all the stuff that they don't need to see, because they're just distractions and extra things for them to stuff up. Okay. You would do exactly the same thing for the staff member and their photo and their code. So it's not going to get recorded. So all you should see on your screen, here's my customer. It would be useful in a business if you said, well, this is me, and you click on them and there's their photo and it doesn't look like that person. So just as a little check thing. You could include that as part of your assignment in the written stuff. By having a customer's pic come up when I see it, I can check and authenticate that it's actually the right person, those type of things. So there's a sentence or two to dribble in your evaluation bits for free.